Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Today we will start our topic which is about biological problem, and it's now we will discuss about the biological problem number 2. Biological problem number 1 was that what is the cause of malaria, and biological problem number 2 is that how is plasmodium transmitted to the human beings. And on this step number 1, observation. So in 1883, an American physician, Albert Freeman, he observed, and he gave more than 20 new observations, and some important observations of King were that people who slept in open areas, they are having no malaria, they are having less chance of getting malaria than the people who slept indoors, and individual who slept near the smoky fire having the less chance of getting malaria, and people who used mosquito nets having the less chance of getting malaria who didn't use mosquito nets. Now then second step was hypothesis and deductions. So what was his hypothesis? That mosquitoes transmit plasmodium, and on this Ronald Ross, he gave experiment, he do experiment. So he do experiment on sparrows instead of human beings because it was too much risky experiment. So why Rose performed his experiment again but used sparrow instead of the human beings, and he allowed a female Culex mosquito to bite a sparrow suffering from the malaria, because we know that Anopheles mosquito is responsible for the Anopheles mosquito is responsible for transferring plasmodium inside the human body, and the Culex mosquito is responsible for the transmitting of plasmodium inside the bird's body. So he allowed a female Culex mosquito to bite a sparrow suffering from malaria, and he killed some of the mosquitoes and studied them. Now what he found? He found that plasmodium multiplied in the walls of the mosquito's stomach and then moved in the mosquito's salivary gland. So by the help of this experiment, he knew that he found many plasmodium in it. So in this way, biologists had got the solution of second biological problem, which was that how is plasmodium transmitted to human beings. So the hypothesis mosquito transmit plasmodium, and it was proved true and take as the solution of biological problem number 2. Now experiment, he do experiment, same experiment on human beings. For this he will allow the Anopheles mosquito to bite a malarial patient, and he do this experiment in 1898. Italian biologist allowed an Anopheles mosquito to bite a malarial patient, and the infected mosquito was then allowed to bite a healthy man, and this person later became ill with malaria, and he confirmed that now that mosquitoes transmit plasmodium and so are involved in the spread of malaria. Okay, so all this was about that how plasmodium is transmitted. So plasmodium is transmitted by the mosquitoes, and what is the cause of malaria? So what is the cause of malaria? Plasmodium is the cause of malaria. Now next we will discuss about the scientific information. So scientific information: patients suffering from malaria have plasmodium in their blood. As I told you that when a female Anopheles mosquito bite a malarial patient, so it sucks the blood and then it will inject the plasmodium inside their body. An infected mosquito bites a healthy person, so it will also inject plasmodium in his body. Okay, now theory, law and principle. What does theory means? We know that when a hypothesis has been proved by experiments, means hypothesis is proved again and again, then it will become theory. And when a theory proved again and again, so it will become law or principle. So we can say that when a hypothesis is proved by many experiments, scientists develop more hypotheses from it and test them experimentally. So if the new hypotheses are again proved, the original hypothesis become a theory. And if a theory is proved again and again by experiment, so it become a law or principle. So a scientific law is a uniform or constant fact of nature, and the example of biological law are Hardy-Weinberg's laws or Mendel's law of inheritance. Now we will discuss about the data organization and data analysis. For data organization or data analysis, we know that we will analyze data, we will organize data in the form of dates, numbers, values, charts, pie charts. So all these are the methods through which we can organize our data. So this data helps them to make hypotheses from observations and to conclude results from experiment. And collected data is analyzed by using statistical methods like ratios and proportions, and a ratio is a relationship with respect to relative size between two quantities of the same kind. Means we can take ratio a pure number to a pure number, an amount of money so to an amount of money, a number of people to a number of people. So we will take two same quantities and a pure number to a pure number, amount of money to amount of money, a number of people to number of people. So proportion means to join two equal ratios. Now how we will organize our data? For data organization, first we will do A and D. As we are having A ratio B is equal C ratio D, so A and D are the extremes and B and C are the means, and the product of extreme always be equal to the product of mean. For example, if a biologist want to know how many sparrows would be infected with malaria, so if he allow Culex mosquito to bite 50 sparrows, so previously in one of his findings he already noticed that 6 out of 10 sparrows get malaria if bitten by the Culex mosquito. So now for this we will do multiplication. So how we will do that? Here he applies proportional rule. It means that if he allows Culex mosquito to bite 50 sparrows, 30 out of them will get malaria, and proportion method can be used to draw conclusions. Now mathematics as an integral part of scientific process. So mathematic rules have been used in biology and for many decades, and mathematics also used in different fields of life. Because of development in our understanding in biology, application of mathematical rules in all sciences has increased tremendously. And for example, the research projects such as population studies, sequence of plants and animals DNA require mathematical knowledge for organizing and analyzing the data. So in each and every step of life, mathematics is used. As we discussed about the linkage of biology with statistics. So in each and every field of life, it's having a relation with the biology, because we can say that in also we calculate and compare the cost and profit of the biological projects, for example production of a new variety of crops, etc. So all they are belonging to the mathematics. In our daily life we also use mathematics in many ways. So mathematics has a very important role in biology in every field of life. Okay, inshallah we will meet in our next video. Take care. Allah Hafiz.